Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we'll be making the dress you saw on the screen, and to do that you have to fold your material or your pattern paper into two before you can start your measurement. You can see I've already ruled a line that will serve as our shoulder line, and from that line I place my tape to measure my bust measurement, my under bust, my waist and the hip, and I also repeated the same thing on the other side and then extend the lines. You can see what I'm doing, and then went ahead to label it. So now we are done doing that. The next thing is to mark our shoulder measurement. Remember, every measurement will start from the folded edge, that is the closed side. All right, now I've marked my shoulder measurement, and I want to determine how long I want my sleeve to be. So I marked 8 inches, and then mark my neck width and also my neck depth, which is 3.5 inches. This is for the front. Okay, now I've done doing that, I'm going to mark my shoulder slope. I marked 1.5 inch for my shoulder slope. Remember, I extended 8 inches, that is from my original shoulder line down to the length of the sleeve. Okay, so from that length of the sleeve I marked my shoulder slope and then connect it back to the neckline. Right now, to determine the open, that is the wideness of our sleeve, I'm going to mark 8.5 inch. All right, that is what I'm going to use for my sleeve. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and connect this back to the shoulder slope. So this line is going to be our chest line right now. Okay, that is where our armhole will stop. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my body measurements, but before I do that I have to connect this neckline. All right, so right now I'm going to extend this line back to the edge of this, that is the folded edge of this pattern paper. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my body measurement. Okay, remember to mark your bust measurement, which is going to be the new line that was marked for our armhole. So now I'm going to mark on my body measurement, which is my bust, my under bust, my waist, and also the hip. And after marking all of that, I'm going to connect them. All right, this is how you connect it. Okay, just watch what I am doing. I'm trying to connect all the dots I made. You can see. So now we are done connecting all the dots. Just watch how I place my ruler to connect the armhole. All right, this thing, I'll connect it from this underbust, and from the underbust to where the sleeve stop. Okay, this is how I place it. I had no idea that this area was not showing. Okay, so now we are done doing this. The next step we are going to do is to mark our basque, which started from the underbust, or should I call it a band, whichever way. And from the underbust I came up by 1 inch. All right, I want the center to look kind of curvy. I want it to come up a little bit and then slant it back to the under bust line. You can see what I'm doing here. All right, I'm going to place my ruler straight and connect it back to the under bust line. So now we are done achieving this upper part. We are going to also work on the down part. So from the down part I came up by 2 inches, which is from the hip line. I came up by 2 inches and then use my ruler to connect it back to the lower waist point. Okay, you can see how I place my ruler. This is how I connect it. You can see. So right now I'm going to go ahead and add my allowance. I added 1 inch allowance, and then the same thing, connected it back to the sleeve. All right, so I went back to the down part to reconnect it, kind of I came down a little bit to connect it back to the lower waist point. You can see what I did. So this is it right now. I've cut out the areas that I do not need. Okay, you can see what I'm trying to show you here. I've cut out the areas that I do not need, and also I'm going to cut off this particular area, which is going to be our band. All right, I'll keep it aside, and then the upper part, I'm going to open it to slash it up for our gathers or our pleats. I pleated my own. You can gather your own, is your choice. But when you are doing that, make sure you do not cut it off entirely. Okay, and do not open the neck as well. You can see how I place it from the edge, which is from the close of the lining. This is my lining. I use lining because the material is transparent. So if your own is not transparent, you can use only your facing. Okay, and after cutting out the front, I went ahead to mark out my neckline for the back because I'm going to use the front to cut out the back. So my neck depth width my neck depth is 1.5 inch, but I marked 2 inches because I added ½ inch on the neckline when I was marking the front, so you can see it. So right now I place another lining and mark out 1 inch, which is our zipper, and place the front along the line, like the line of the zip, and connect it. And also this down part, I'm not going to make it curvy. It's going to be straight because it's going to be at the back. It's not going to be the same thing with the front. I've done that and also cut it off, so you can see this is the front and back. So I'm going to contour this zipper area. So I'm going to just mark out 1/4 or ½ inch. This is to enable your zipper to sit properly. Okay, I went ahead to remove it. So this is it. So after I've done doing all of that, so this is the front and back. So these areas are the areas I are going to pleat or gather. All right, you do not touch the armhole area. You can see the curve. Okay, so this is the band. I'm going to show you. If you have enough material for your band, you can cut it this way, but I don't have much material, so I'm going to use that on my own. All right, so from the waistline, I went in by 4 inches, which is my nipple to nipple measurement. Then I repeated the same thing on the upper and also the down part. And from the from the waistline, I went out by 7.5 to connect it. All right, this is it. I connected it this way from the waistline to the up. All right, and I repeated the same thing on this side as well. And to the down part, I connected it this way. I use this pattern because my fabric is not enough, but if you have enough fabric, you can go ahead and cut your band this way. So now I am done doing this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it and show you how it's going to be. Okay, you can see it. I've gone ahead to cut out that area. So this is how it's going to look. So when you are cutting it on the fabric, okay, make sure you add this this dart intake. All right, replace your dart intake. I've gone ahead to do that, and also added ½ inch on the upper part, the side, and also the down part. You can see the dart intake that was replaced. Okay, and this is for our back. For this bag, I am going to make some changes. All right, because our front and back half length, that is when you measure from your shoulder to your half length, is not the same thing. So the difference between my front and back is 1.5 inch. All right, so I'm going to remove it from this first line, which was our front first line. All right, our front waist first line. So I'm going to place my tape there. My front first waist line is 16.5. Okay, So I'm going to place my ruler, you can my tape, my tape, and mark out 1.5 inch. So my 1.5 inch here is 15 inches. That means my back is 15 inches while my front is 16.5 inch. All right, you can see what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if you're understanding me. All right, I place my tape on the first line, which was our front waistline, to mark out 1.5 inch. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler right now and connect it and rule a line. This new line now is going to be my back waistline. Okay, so this is it. This is our back waistline right now. So after getting this, the next step is for me to go in by 4 inches, which is my nipple to nipple measurement, and then mark out 1/2 inch in both that leg, then connect. So I'm going to place my ruler like this to connect it. Okay, and then I will extend it on the length of this band. So after doing all of this, the next step is for me to cut out this this dart. All right, you can see how it's looking. You can see the front. So right now I'm going to remove this 1.5 inch that was removed from the first line. I'm going to remove it from the down part. That is how you are going to do it in order to achieve an accurate measurement. Okay, so I'm going to remove that 1.5 inch. You can see what I'm measuring from that first line to this second line is 1.5 inch. So I'm going to remove it from the down part. You can see what I'm doing here. I'll remove it from this down part and cut it off. So I'm going to go ahead and trace all these dots. Okay, and then cut off this area. So this is it. Now if you measure it from your shoulder to your waistline, it's going to be 15 inches. All right, so the difference is just 1.5 inch, which I removed from the down part. So I have gone ahead to cut it on the material. You can see the upper part is straight, it's not curvy like the front. Okay, and also remember to add your dart intake. Replace your dart intake whenever you add that. Okay, so this is it. After joining it together, this is the back. You can see the zipper area. Remember to add your zip as well when you are cutting it. And this is the front. Okay, you can see the upper front is kind of curvy, and this is how I cut out the lining. Okay, I don't want it to reach to the sleeve. Okay, this is how I cut it. All right, so if you have if your own is not transparent, you can as well use only face. You don't need to cut it to the end of the top. So right now this is the elastic I added on the shoulder. But before you do this, make sure you have already used your facing to face your neckline and top stitch it, and then add your band. Once you add your band, that is by pleating the upper part to the band, and then you can now go ahead and join the shoulder, which is the front and back shoulder, together before adding this elastic. To this elastic, I added it on the allowance that was used to join the shoulder. All right, that is what I'm trying to show you right now. You know, when you join your shoulder together, there is an allowance. Okay, on that allowance was where I joined this elastic, so that it will not show in on the front of this material. You can see how it's looking. There is no thread showing. You can see there is no thread there because of the way I joined it. So when you finish doing that, you hem the sleeve. You can see what I'm trying to do. After hemming the sleeve, then you can now join the sides. All right, join the sides together. If you contour the back like the way I showed you earlier, your back and your front will be equal when you join them together. You can see my own, they are equal. So this is how you are going to do it. You join the side together and the other side together. When you finish doing that, the next thing is to join the down part, play the down part on the band as well. So this is the final look of this dress. Please, if this video is helpful, do not forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you. All right, so you can see how the back is sitting properly. I'm going to turn so you can see how the back is looking perfectly. You can see you can see. All right, please try and contour your own very well. Thank you.